Welcome, parents, teachers, caretakers, and grandparents. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming back again and again and again and again. We started something last year, 5 spoilers in our relationship. So we talked about unsurrendered will, and then we talked about disregarding God's sovereignty, and last week we talked about transparency, and this week we'll talk about unforgiveness. I'm seeing this as a big factor with parents. There are a lot of parents are hurt and sitting around and said, I will never forgive my son. I will never forgive my daughter. I will never talk to them. I sometimes talk to some of those married boys, married girls. They were all teenagers and I've mentored them. Now they are married. And sometimes I, passing by, ask this question, hey, you must be so close to your mom and dad, did they come and things like that? And I hear this statement all the time. Oh, they have not forgiven me. Oh, they've still not forgiven me. They still don't talk to me. My father still doesn't talk to me. My father doesn't still look into my eyes and talk. I'm saying this, parents, teachers, grandparents, caretakers. I'm saying this. When we don't forgive, we are at the loss. As you grow older, as I grow older, at the end of the year, what are we looking for? We're looking for that joy with our grandchildren. We're looking for that joy with our children, with their own families. And if we have not learned to forgive, and if we are still holding on to some of those things, I think we are at the loss. We are at the loss. I know some of you are saying, I do understand, but my husband doesn't understand. Maybe some of you are saying, I do understand, but my wife doesn't understand. I think you need to be the person who needs to initiate that conversation and begin to talk. At the end of the day, what are we going to take from this world? Nothing. We're not going to take anything from this world. At the end of the day, it's all about a place where we are able to forgive and walk in that place. Sometimes it's difficult to forget. I totally understand that. Some people use that statement very commonly, forgive and forget. Sometimes it's difficult to forgive, and sometimes very, very difficult to forget. I do understand that. In spite of my hurt, in spite of that places that I'm not able to forget, I'm able to forgive and walk, because that forgiveness is not mine. I forgive because He has forgiven me. I forgive and let go because He has let me go. I have to come to that place. I just want to beg this, parents, teachers, grandparents, with your own children, please learn to forgive. Please learn to forgive. Immediately forgive and let them know that you're forgiven. Sometimes that I've seen teenagers, debate with their own mothers and fathers and just say, yeah, you always say I've forgiven and forgiven, but you always bring that thing up, and you always keep pointing that out, and you always say, let them know that you're forgiven. And when we forgive, I love that statement made by one of the Christian author in his book on forgiveness. He says, God puts our sins in the depths of the sea. That's a verse, in the Minor Prophets. God puts the sins in the depths of the sea, and he adds another statement, and he puts a board on the top. No fishing around. No fishing around. The verse in the Minor Prophets, it says God puts the sins in the depths of the sea and He remembers it no more. And this author writes that he also puts a board on the top and says, no fishing around you. Nobody else can fish this and bring it. See, unforgiveness, I've said this with teenagers several times, and I think it's also applicable for us. Unforgiveness is we drinking the poison and expecting the other person to die. No. We are going to lose the peace, and we are going to have psychosomatic sicknesses in our bodies, and our body will begin to react because of that bitterness, that unforgiveness. Especially as we grow old, it becomes much difficult. I think we need to know, and we need to let go. We need to let go. At the end of the day, your children are very precious. No matter what they have done. No matter what they have done, they are very precious. He has forgiven me, and I need to forgive them. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for listening to this. May the Lord bless you.